Good morning, everyone. Welcome to the January 23rd, 2018 Henderson County Fiscal Court meeting. We're glad you're with us this morning. And we will begin, as we always do, with an invocation, and I'd like to invite County Occupational Tax Administrator Andrew Powell to deliver our prayer. Please stand.
Thank you. Pray with me, please. Father God, we take a moment to pause and pray for your healing hands and your arms of comfort over the families that have been affected in Benton. God, there's still a lot unknown, but I just pray that you guide all of them, and thank you for the first responders and the law enforcement that are there for them right now. And God, we just pray for your safekeeping on that situation. God, we also take a moment to remember Jody, and God, we just pray for your comfort on the family of Judge Jenkins. Such a fun person to be around, and his spirit was just so lively and just enjoyable man, God. And we just remember the positives of his legacy. God, we thank you for the opportunity to come before this public event today to do the business of our county. God, we thank you for bestowing the leadership before us. We know that you've placed them there for a reason. God, we ask that we act in your will for the betterment of our fellow man. We do all in Jesus' name. Amen.
Amen. Please join me in the pledge of allegiance.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you, Andrew. And for those of who might not know, there was a shooting this morning at Marshall County High School that injured several students, and we're still waiting for particulars from that situation, but I appreciate Andrew mentioning that in his prayer, and we are thinking about Marshall County and the community of Benton right now, and hope that better things will come of that situation. Madam Clerk, would you please call the roll?
Magistrate Warren.
Here.
Magistrate Alexander.
Here.
Magistrate Todd.
Here.
Magistrate Wilkerson.
Here.
And Magistrate Pittman.
Here.
Welcome, gentlemen. And you have before you the minutes of the January 2nd, 2018 Henderson County Fiscal Court meeting. And after a period of review, I will entertain a motion to accept those.
So moved. Second.
We have a motion and a second. Any further additions, clarifications, or corrections? Please call for a vote.
Magistrate Warren. Magistrate Alexander.
Aye.
Magistrate Todd.
Aye.
Magistrate Wilkerson.
Aye.
And Magistrate Pittman.
Aye.
Thank you. This is the fiscal court meeting each year when we have three judges scholars with us, and they are from South Middle School, North Middle School, and Central Learning Academy. And that's always a special time, and we're really glad to have with us today this year's judges scholars from those three schools. First, from South Middle School, Jeremy Joseph; from Central Learning Academy, Kiera Scott; and from North Middle School, LaShawn Robinson. And I'd like them to join me right up here in front of the podium, please. We're going to read proclamations for each of you. Turn it over to the fiscal court.
Okay. Rather than reading a proclamation for each, can we just insert each name? And okay, all right. Whereas, let me get these. Whereas Jeremy Joseph has been chosen by South Middle School, Kiera Scott has been chosen by Central Learning Academy, and LaShawn Robinson has been chosen by North Middle School to be the recipient of the Judges Scholar Awards, because you all made a choice to accept change that would benefit your education and well-being. And whereas change is not always easy, however, your ability to accept change has led to growth that will only further your successes in life. And whereas success is measured in many different ways, whether it be passing a test, scoring a winning point, achieving a particular goal, or taking the necessary steps for overall improvement. And whereas the Henderson County school system could not let your efforts go unnoticed. Whereas the Henderson County Fiscal Court supports the school system and acknowledges these changes are significant because students such as you, LaShawn, Jeremy, and Kiera will be our future leaders. Now, therefore, I, Brad Schneider, County Judge Executive of Henderson, join with the Henderson County Fiscal Court to proclaim January 23rd as LaShawn Robinson Day, Jeremy Joseph Day, and Kiera Scott Day. Congratulations.
All right, so you hold those up nice and proud facing that way, and just wave the picture.
Can we do individual?
Sure.
LaShawn.
Sean first.
Okay, you guys, step up here. In
Sean's
your
family?
Family
And any school representatives? Glad you're here. Kiera Scott, her family? And Jeremy's family, school representative. Congratulations, Jeremy, Kiera, and LaShawn. Proud of you. Glad you're with us today. And now comes the boring part. We're going to go through the rest of the meeting. We hope you find it interesting and educational. And afterwards, though, Magistrate Butch Putman is going to take LaShawn and Jeremy out to lunch. Kiera has decided he didn't want lunch, but again, we're glad you're with us, and really proud of you all. Thank you. Next, I'd like to call up Bryant Woodard, if he's here. We do have in our packets the annual agreement that we sign with City County Rescue Squad. And Chief, if you don't mind just saying a couple words about the past year for the Rescue Squad, it'd be great, and then we'll have a vote on that agreement. You probably didn't expect to have to speak this morning, but I thought it'd be good to hear from you.
I wasn't expecting to, so. I've been submitting, giving y'all a copy of the quarterly reports that we've had each quarter that I turn into the state. So those are run volume, training, and membership list. And I take it that that's been passed along to each of you. So-
We'll have it in their mailbox, yep.
Okay. But This is our statement of affiliation that we have to renew each year. It's basically the same as it's been over the last few years. So, if anybody got any questions or anything,
I do want to reiterate that in the rollout of the volunteer fire department funding plan, one of the ideas we had was including a way to help fund city county rescue as well, wrapped up in that, and that involved the volunteer fire departments making contributions directly from you, from the funds they receive from the community, and so far that has worked as planned. I think all but one of the volunteer fire departments has made the agreed upon contribution in January, and there'll be another one made in April, I believe, to account for about 10% of their revenues, to put you about in the middle of the pack in the average amount of income for the volunteer fire departments from this plan. And I'm sure that it's been well received at City County Rescue, correct?
yes, it is. We greatly appreciate the fiscal court on the work you've done on that too.
Good deal. Any other questions of Chief?
Not a question, but Brian, if you get an opportunity, you might want to thank your state senator Dorsey Ridley. He'd introduced a bill that requires them to pay rescue squad workers comp during a
Yeah, I'd
first
send him
day.
an email on that.
Yeah,
and,
so I'd make sure you thank him for that.
I've talked with him, and I have. We can just get it on through now. What it is, for some reason under state law, I don't know if the rescue squads, if we do a medical run, we're not covered under workman's comp. If it's strictly medical. Now, if we are on a search, we find somebody, they're injured, we treat them, we're covered that way because it's secondary to the mission that we is on. But if we go just for a medical run, for some reason, state law in one area says we've got to do it, then in another area it says we're not covered if we do it. So it was contradicting itself there, so I asked him if he could get that cleared up. He did.
Good. Well, we'll follow that bill. Any other questions of Chief Woodard?
I hope I can talk. I was just looking over this and I just had a question. On page 2, responsibilities, it's the last paragraph. It says the Henderson County government shall be responsible for the physical accountability for all funds donated to the rescue squad by the county, and then the city has to do the same thing. But I guess my question to you is, how do we do that unless we do an audit account for how you spend our money?
I guess that would have to be through an audit if you wanted one.
Well, also the quarterly reports indicate their activity
Okay.
as well. And I believe at the moment, the only funds we expend are through the county are the reimbursement of insurance, your insurance.
Correct.
All the rest of your funds come either from the city or the volunteer fire departments, correct?
Yes, sir.
So in our case, it's not a large amount of money. If there aren't any other questions, I'll entertain a motion to accept this agreement for
So moved.
2018.
Second.
Any other comments or concerns? Please call for a vote.
Magistrate Warren. Magistrate Alexander.
Aye.
Magistrate Todd.
Aye.
Magistrate Wilkerson.
Aye.
And Magistrate Putman.
Aye.
Thank you. Next, I'd like to call Angela Hagedorn to the podium to give us an animal control update.
Good morning, County Judge, Magistrates, Madam Clerk. Have you all received the financial report? Does anyone have any questions or concerns?
You show a positive.
Thank goodness. I'm working hard to turn that around. So,
Good job.
one thing that we had mentioned before the meeting, we're going to entertain some ideas about the weather brought in a lot of concerns. We had no less than 10 calls a day concerning animals being left out in the cold, being left out in the snow and ice. And our ordinances do not incorporate those kind of conditions. And so if they met the minimum requirement, then we had to leave the animal be. So we will be working with the county attorney's office to try to improve our ordinances because people were calling concerned that we were not doing anything, and it's hard to explain to them that we have gone out and to check and that they do meet the minimum requirements. So we're going to work on those types of ordinances a little bit. Does anybody else have any questions or concerns?
I think the goal there is to put together a draft, bring before the city county
Yes.
work group, and have them work on a little bit with consultation with the county's attorney's office.
Yes.
Just to clarify, the Kentucky statutes, the statewide laws about animal control are very, very thin.
Yes.
They mostly leave it up to localities, and that's kind of strange where you end up with a patchwork quilt of different ordinances across the state. But the good news is there are a lot of different ordinances across the state, and we can pick and choose those things that will work best for Henderson. And I think working together, we can get something to present to the city-county work group that should be good for everybody and be workable in Henderson.
Yes, and I do appreciate the Gleaner. They contacted the facility and asked about our animal control runs and asked about animals being in the weather, and they have put numerous articles and information out about that, so we greatly appreciate that as well. If anyone else has any questions?
Maybe just one.
Yes.
When you go out and just say with that those real bad weather where it's down to zero and stuff, what would be like the minimum requirement of the owner on that? I mean, does it have to have a house?
I'll let Chief Crooks explain that.
Yes, it would have to have a house. That's just no matter what kind of temperature it is, it does have to have some kind of shelter. 3 sides and a roof. During the winter, we prefer to, winterize it, straw, something to keep that body heat warm for the animal. And things that we're not liking is, if we go out on a run and the dogs have shelter and food and water, but their ground is covered in ice and snow, well, there's no law that says that can't be. So, and their little paws can freeze and they can stick to it. So those are the things that we have problems with.
Yeah, my wife is constantly complaining to me. I said, "Well, look, they got a house. It looks like they got a water bowl. I mean, it really is not going to do any good to call anybody on them. I mean, it's cold."
Yeah,
but
unfortunately, that's
what I thought.
That's where we're at.
All right, thank you very much.
Any other questions? Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Next, I'd like to call Randy Tassa up, and Coach Administrator. If you recall at the last meeting, we'd asked Randy to help put together the initial roster of a housing appeals board that the county now probably needs because of some adjustments the city made, and because we also had a situation of a citation in the city of Corden. And there's some good news there, and I'll let Randy explain that as far as the Corden incident goes. But I also would like an update on putting together this housing appeals board, please.
Yes, I reached out to everyone who served on this board previously. 6 of the 7 board members agreed they would be interested in serving on this board. The ordinance only requires 5, so we do have an extra one there to serve on that in case something comes up where somebody's conflicted where they can't serve. I checked on court dates for where we can use the fiscal courtroom with Sue. 3rd Wednesday at 6 p.m. looks like it'd probably be the best time to have this meeting.
And that's an as-needed meeting, too,
as
right?
needed. The only thing I do not have is an attorney to serve on that board or to assist with the board. The city, when they had the board, they used the city attorney. And so maybe if Steve could have a recommendation, or maybe someone from his office for supposed to serve on this board as an attorney for legal counsel, would be greatly appreciated. The city of Corden they did have something kind of conflicting in our ordinance and their ordinance. They had their city council to serve on as their appeals board. Discussed with them about how that may be a conflict of interest, having elected officials decide on the fate of people's homes. And so they have actually just did a first reading on their ordinance to mirror ours and use our board of appeals. when they adopted our ordinance, my understanding, they adopted everything exactly the way ours was. The only thing they did change that I wasn't aware of was they had their city council as the ones that you'd file an appeal to. And so they agreed that it would be a good idea to use our Board of Appeals. And so once we get this established and get a meeting set up, we'll probably have one coming up here soon.
So we have could you read the roster of folks who have agreed to serve on the board, please?
Yes. Mac Arnold, who's a contractor. Matt Calvert, who is a engineer. Gray Hodge, an engineer. Jim Meadows, who used to be an electrical contractor. Tim Skinner is an architect. And Hugh Stone, which is a contractor.
These all formerly served on the appeals board that handled cases before.
Yes.
Mr. Gold, do we have any further guidelines to write or any other resolutions that we need to undertake regarding this board?
No, but as far as making the appointments official, a vote today would help that.
Can we leave it up to that group to elect its chairman, or do we appoint the chairman?
The ordinance actually does provide for them to select their own chairman.
Well, I'll also give a bit of a warning. Once we form this appeals board, there will be some expense involved, including the contracting of an attorney. May not be all that much money. Hopefully there won't be many appeals to adjudicate, but it could be so. We will probably have to amend the budget in some way to reflect the forming of this, but it's something we need to do. And you're telling me that Corden has requested that this new board hear the issue from Corden, correct?
Yes.
So,
yes. And I would assume that the Corden would be, if they have something goes from this board, would probably be responsible for the cost incurred for using our board, but it would be something that the city of Corden would need to work out with the county.
So I'll entertain a motion to accept the folks that Randy just listed as making up the Board of Housing Appeals for the county, and that setting their meeting dates as requested from Randy. And we will meet with them to elect a chairman at their first meeting, and we'll also work with them to contract with an attorney and then hear this appeal from Corden and any others that might occur.
Well, and at this time, Judge, as far as the expense, we should, given that it's a relatively rare meeting, my office should be able to handle the legal services for that. If it becomes something that is a very frequent thing or requires a lot of research, they may either need to contract that out, or we may be coming back to you asking for additional help in the office. But
terrific, thank you. I think we've had one appeal in the last couple of years.
Right.
Yeah, several years.
So,
assuming that's the workload, we should be able to absorb that.
so I'll entertain a motion to that effect.
So moved.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Any other questions about this, gentleman, or concerns?
Just, you did say as needed is all, the only time they'll meet is as needed?
Yes.
Okay.
Randy, could you tell me the last person's name again? I did not
Hugh
hear that.
Stone.
Hugh Stone, okay. Thank you.
Would you please contact them and let them know that both their appointments and that first meeting date are being approved, and that I'll come to that first meeting to help get them squared away and begin their service.
Okay.
Any other questions? Okay, please call for a vote.
Magistrate Warren. Magistrate Alexander.
Aye.
Magistrate Todd.
Aye.
Magistrate Wilkerson.
Aye.
And Magistrate Putman.
Aye.
Thank you very much, Randy, for your work on that. Next, I'd like to call Renee Abney up for a county clerk's report, please.
Hello, good morning.
Good morning.
I have a few things this morning. I have a monthly report for December, a quarterly report, and a yearly total. And again, our office operates on calendar, not fiscal, so it's different. So for the monthly report for December, the amount remitted to the county is $114,401.92. The excess fees for the month, $79,449.01. The quarterly was $348,363.76, and the excess fees $256,743.43. The yearly total for 2017 was $1,100,000 $1,586,894.69, and the excess yearly total was $1,148,066.14. So that compares to the total turned over to the county, $13,714.70 less than the previous year. So pretty close, $13,000 off. So that's all of those reports. And then I also have it's basically just housekeeping. It is a annual settlement for 2017 that has to be signed and, read in court. And it's actually everything that we took in and settled and dispersed for the year. And then also a budget, and by budget I mean it's just an estimate of basically repeating what we took in and bringing it forward for the next year. So that's what we have in court today to be signed off on, and it's something we do every year. It's just a housekeeping issue. So,
can you bring those up, please?
Sure.
I need a copy.
Do you need us to distribute copies here? Let's see.
I think that's all one report. I don't think it's copies.
Yeah, you just have to sign. You're the only one that has to sign that, Judge, and it just has to be read in court. It's just it's actual just a fact statement of what we took in and what we dispersed.
Does the fiscal clerk read this?
It's just a record that I read it or that I gave it to you all and you voted on it. That's what I collected and yeah.
That's what you just reported, correct?
Yeah. So. Yeah.
Any other questions of Bernice on that? Any other comments? We'll entertain a motion to both accept her report and these annual reports as well.
So moved.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Again, any questions? Please call for a vote.
Magistrate Warren. Aye. Magistrate Alexander.
Aye.
Magistrate Todd.
Aye.
Magistrate Wilkerson.
Aye.
And Magistrate Whitman.
Aye.
Thank you very much,
Thank you.
Renisa. You also have in your packets, gentlemen, the sheriff's reports for the most recent months. After a period of review, I'll entertain a motion to accept those. If Sheriff Brady has any further comment.
Move to accept.
Second.
A motion and a second. Any questions? Please call for a vote.
Magistrate Warren.
Aye.
Magistrate Alexander.
Aye.
Magistrate Todd.
Aye.
Magistrate Wilkerson.
Aye.
And Magistrate Whitman.
Aye.
Thank you, and I'd like to call Treasurer Brenda Ryder up for her claims and some other business to attend to.
These are your bank balances after paying claims today. Your day-to-day expense line items should be at approximately 58%. I need to request a funds transfer. Both of these are budgeted transfers. The first one, transferring $250,000 from the general fund to the LGEA fund. The second, transferring $1,826,000 from the general fund to the road fund. These are both budgeted transfers.
I want to, before we make a motion on that, members of the Finance Committee met yesterday to discuss these transfers. These are budgeted transfers, obviously, and it's that time of the year when we begin to especially think about the end of the year for the road fund and LGEA. So, Magistrate Putman or Magistrate,
Sure.
do you have any comments on that?
The amount seems like it's huge, but what the projection is, that's what it's going to take to get us to the end of this fiscal year on both those, on the road and the LGEA. I mean, you could have, I guess, done it a little bit at a time if you wanted, but we chose just to recommend that we just come up with a figure and put that amount of money to carry us through the fiscal year.
And both those amounts are a fraction or not quite half of what we actually budgeted. For
Correct.
that route, so.
And both of these are made without any additional anticipated revenue, which there will be. The projected road aid is in this projection, but it gets a little bit harder after that to project what else you will have coming in at the end of the year.
Any other questions about the claims as well?
I do have one additional claim to add. In the amount of $6,781.52 to Home Depot from the general fund, and this will come from the custodial line supply, and it pays for some office renovations that are going on in the county attorney's office.
How much was that?
Flooring, I believe, right?
Yes, sir. It's the flooring, the tile. It's in the amount of $6,781.52.
Again, a budgeted expense.
And that was part of budgeted expense in the custodial budget.
So can I get a motion to accept both the claims and the line item transfers?
So moved.
Second.
Any other questions? I didn't want to rush through the claims there in case anybody had any other questions about claims or.
Judge, I don't have a question, but I want to compliment Brenda. I really like the format that we're getting now, particularly if you look at the appropriation condition report, next to the last column, it has the percent received, and then it's just a great document now.
Yeah.
We get so much more information than what I used to know. I would manually have to figure it, so I really like what she's providing.
Part of that is the format created by the new software system we implemented, and Brenda and Paula in our office have worked very hard to implement that. And I agree, it's a little bit simpler.
It's still a work in progress, but we're getting there, and it's going to be a very good tool.
Just as a point of reference, I think through, what did you say the percentage we should be at?
Approximately 58%.
Yeah. Here we're more than halfway through the year. We should be at 58% of the year, and in the general fund, total expenditures are at 42% and change, which is excellent. Each of the departments, in fact, is either on budget or slightly below or well below, so that's excellent. So we have a motion and a second to accept the claims and approve the line item transfers. Any other comments? Please take a vote.
Magistrate Warren.
Aye.
Magistrate Alexander.
Aye.
Magistrate Todd.
Aye.
Magistrate Wilkerson. And Magistrate Putman.
Aye.
In your packets, you also were given copies of 2 budget amendments. The first one is recognizing the revenue and expense of $122,000 in the grants fund for the 2018-2019 Warm Center grant. This grant is actually a flow-through. The entire amount of the grant is actually $200,000, but because of the prior year grant and the carryover from the break of the one fiscal year into the next, there is $78,000 already in this account. So I'm asking to amend in $122,000 additional dollars for the total of the grant of $200,000. And
you have another one as well?
Yes, sir. The second one is recognizing the revenue of $35,553.26 into the LGEA fund. This is recognizing the revenue and expense, and this is for the 2018 litter abatement grant.
So these are both flow-through amounts. Approved. Any questions on those?
Move to approve.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Any other questions? Vote, please.
Magistrate Warren.
Aye.
Magistrate Alexander.
Aye.
Magistrate Todd.
Aye.
Magistrate Wilkerson.
Aye.
And Magistrate Putman.
Aye.
Also in your packet was included a letter from the State Auditor's Office regarding the 2016-17 fiscal court audit. Due to the constraints of the Auditor's Office, the county has been given approval to employ a private CPA to perform this audit. Basically, the state is mandated to come in and audit the county every 4 years. But each year in between, the state has the first right of refusal, which means the state calls the county and tells the county they can't do it. Then the county asks permission from the state, and that's what the letter is for. It's considered a professional service with no bid required. I guess the question is, would you like to go out for bids this year? How would you like to handle this audit for the year 16-17?
And talking with Brenda, I recommend we do. It's not going to be an inconsiderable expense. Typically anywhere from $30,000 to $40,000, depending on the issues that the auditor runs into. And at that expense, I'd like to bid it out.
And the state auditor's office is scheduled to come in and do the 18-19 audit. So that should be their 4th year as we stand right now.
Does the state charges also, correct?
Yes, sir.
Are they within line of what our private people have been charging?
The state has not been in Henderson County since the 13-14 audit, and at that time it was approximately about 28 to 30,000. So you've got about 4 years difference right now. I will tell you that the audit for 14-15 was about 43,000. The audit for 15-16 was 45,000. And generally, your CPA firms will charge more than the state. At one time, the state RFP'd CPA firms, and that was at a lower rate, but the state has not done that for probably 3 to 4 years.
And part of that price difference is why we asked the state first, hoping they could say yes.
But odds of getting the state to do it are practically nothing, correct? Is that the way you're saying me?
No, sir. They've already declined.
So
I've
they're
already
cheaper,
asked.
but we can't get them.
No, sir, we can't.
And we have to get somebody.
Yeah,
I got
we
you.
have to.
Okay.
And to give you an update on the 14-15, 15-16 audits, we've been pushing hard for those. They're now at the state again. We had to back up, work on some things that were presented to us. We have done that, and they're back at the state again, waiting approval. We are very hopeful that we will be presenting them to court soon. Myriad CPA firm in Henderson is handling those, and trust me, I think Brenda knows I poke them every week about where this is at. And,
Well, we are on a timeline on things also.
Yeah.
So,
So
Let me add one other thing about the CPA firm. Regardless, any year that a CPA firm does it, the state does review that after the firm and gives the final approval, and the state does charge a minimal of generally between $1,800 and $3,000 in addition to what the CPA firm charges. But that's a standard, and that's for the review of the audit.
16-17 audit bid proposal, we would put together an RFP based on some, what other counties do, some language. Brenda's working on that now. We can bring back the draft RFP for everybody to review if you'd like, and then advertise for formal bids. Hopefully get it going by before the end of the fiscal year. Somewhere there.
a question, Judge. Would the Finance Committee review the bids as when they came in?
Sure, if you'd like, if the
just
court would like
just
that.
asking, does the whole court look at it, or what would be the pleasure?
Either or, if the court would like the Finance Committee to review and make any kind of recommendation, that'd be fine, or if you just want to present in court.
I think the recommendation would be a nice way to do it, and then the whole court.
Exactly.
That's fine with me.
And at one point I want to make too, it doesn't exclude by offering this bidding from the current firm
That's
from
right.
bidding again. It's just that we felt like as a finance committee, it would be prudent, as the judge was saying, to open it up and just see what's out there.
Absolutely. So that's something we don't need to vote on. I did want approval to go ahead and bid that out. We've begun the process of putting together the RFP document. So just heads up. Thank you very much. Appreciate that. And thank you.
Thank you.
Ms. Ryder. Mr. Gold, your report.
Judge, first thing I want to do is thank the Sheriff's Department and their court security officers. They worked with the Henderson Police Department to have an active shooter training at the Judicial Center this Saturday, and it was a really great training, very interesting experience to go through. And given what's going on in Marshall County today, a very real thing to go through. Not everybody's always super happy when they come in and out of that judicial center. And I do think that it's something that we might consider sometime in this building putting on, because not everybody's always super happy when they come in and out of this building either. But it was a very enlightening thing to go through. And I actually gone to Walmart, and I've got some door stoppers that are going on our door over there. And it's sometimes you don't think about a lot of those things. One of the things we learned over there is they have these nice secure doors that you push on the bar and they won't open for 15 seconds. That's a problem. So they're addressing that. That was something that court security found out. Everybody thought they would open and then an alarm would go off or something like that, but they didn't open for 15 seconds. And it was interesting to identify some things like that must have been state of the art when that was built as far as security goes. But I don't know. I just thought it was a great thing, and so thank you, Sheriff, for helping put that on.
And also part of your renovation project downstairs is the creation of a second egress and ingress.
Yes, that's been an
for your
issue
office.
in our office for quite a while, as there was only one point of entry in and out, and if we had an active shooter, there was a back stairwell that had been covered up to make additional storage. There was a floor put over this stairwell, and that was great because we needed the extra storage, but horrible from a security standpoint. And we've reopened that, or in the process of getting it to where it's going to be even more usable. And I think anything we can do to increase the safety of our employees in this building is a good thing. So I think the active shooter training they put on was about a 2-hour class, definitely worth considering for employees of this building. As far as payments to the court today, I've got several checks. First, reimbursement for a supplement to an assistant county attorney's salary, $458.33. Health, dental, life insurance, several checks, $557.54, $6,362.71, $57.46, and $206.34, for a grand total today of $7,696.38, and the fiscal year to date total of $75,606.96.
Motion to approve those.
Second.
Any other questions of Steve? Please call for a vote.
Magistrate Warren.
Aye.
Magistrate Alexander.
Aye.
Magistrate Todd.
Aye.
Magistrate Wilkerson.
Aye.
And Magistrate Putman.
Aye.
Thank you, Mr. Gold. Appreciate that. Next, I'll call County Engineer Buhubiak to come up and open material road bids. Our detention center policy manual item on the agenda has actually been postponed. We're going to be addressing some of the policy manual questions we have right now at a workshop this afternoon at 3:30 here. So we decided to postpone those, so we'll go right to the material bid opening. Mr. Hubiak?
Morning.
Good morning.
This is our annual bid opening for materials for Henderson County, and of which that we always let the other appropriate agencies piggyback on our system according to state regulations, such as the City of Corydon, the City of Roberts, the school system, and such. So this will be for the calendar year of 2018.
You need to sharpen your letter opener.
You either have a dull letter opener or some very secure bids.
Looks like we got a lot of bids this year. That's a good thing.
Or operator error is what the fiscal court clerk just said.
Should have used my knife. Okay. I'm going to start off with the first bid here. This is from Hoyt Concrete Supply Company of Henderson, Kentucky. Okay, this is for concrete. 3,500 PSI Class A is $119.50. 4,000 PSI, $121.50. Flowable fill is $80, and structural flowable fill is $84. Next bid is from Irving Materials. This is also for concrete.
Thank you.
Okay. 3,500 PSI is $118.50. 4,000 PSI, $121 even. Flowable fill, $83. Structural flowable fill at $86. Next, I'm going to open one from Utility Pipe Sales of Evansville, Indiana. Okay, this is for N12 pipe. This is the polyethylene type pipe that we use. And this is for, I'm going to read off what it is, price per foot. Okay, and so we got, this is double walled pipe number 4-inch is 88 cents a foot, 6-inch, $2 a foot, 8-inch, $2.92, 10-inch, $3.77, 12-inch, $4.81, 15-inch, $6.44, 18-inch, $8.20, 24-inch, $14.79, 30-inch, $21.89, 36-inch, $27.76, 48-inch, $47.31, 60-inch, $77.86. And then the couplings go down. 4-inch is $2.08. These are split couplers too, so you know. 6-inch, $4.85. 8-inch, $6.18. 10-inch, $9.13. 12-inch, $10.31. 15-inch, $17.16. 18-inch, $29.25. 24-inch, $41.25. 30-inch, $95.90. 36-inch, $133.44. 42-inch, $199.92. 48-inch, $238.69, and 60-inch, $365.09.
Bill, can you read that second to last one again? I think you got that wrong. 234.69.
234.69. This one is from Ohio Valley Drainage. This is also a pipe.
Ohio Valley.
Sheriff Brady, I'm sure glad you explained that to them. I was thinking they've got to be really bored what's going on.
Trying to explain to them so we can keep our roads open and our drainage good, and they also look at the presenter
Well, usually when there's only one judge of scholar, they sit here, and I'm able to explain things to them. So thank you for that, because I really thought, man, if I didn't know what was going on here, I would really.
No chance. No chance. All right. That's from Ohio Valley Drainage, Henderson, Kentucky. This is for our annual bid, the N12 pipe. This is double wall pipe. I'm going to start off here with reading it the same way. I'm going to give it to you 5 foot. Okay. 4 inch, 90.02 cents. 6 inch, $2.035. 8 inch, $299.2. 10 inch, $386.1. 12 inch, $469.35. 15 inch, $628.95. 18 inch, $8.0115. 24 inch, $14.4375. 30 inch, $21.378. 36 inch, $27.111. 42 inch, $37.275. 48 inch, $46.2. 60 inch, $76.0305. I'm going to read the couplers next. 4 inch, $1.64. 6 inch, $4.09. 8 inch, $5.59. 10 inch, $7.69. 12 inch, $8.68, excuse me. 15 inch, $14.45. 18 inch, $24.63. Turning over to the back page. 24 inch, $34.74. 30 inch, $80.75. 36 inch, $112.35. 42 inch, $164.45. 48 inch, $193.05. 60 inch, 330 cents. We also got another standard sheet here. This is for water pipe. Okay, standard store type storm drain material. We got 12 inch at $5.6385. 15 inch at $8.2005. Let's see here. 18 inch is $10.899. 24 inch is $18.4695. 30 inch, $28.665. 36 inch, $31.416. 42 inch, $38.6505. 48 inch, $53.025. And I guess the last one is 60 inch, $80.262. Next bid is from Mulger Crushed Stone of Evansville, Indiana. This is for Kentucky Limestone, and I'm going to read you the 3 bids across the board. FOB will be the first one. That's picking it up at their yard. Delivered to the county road garage will be the second number, and the third number is delivered to anywhere in Henderson County. 610's DGA, $14.30. 1825, 1855. 57's number threes. 1440, 1835, 1865. 68's 1545, 1940, 1970. 9M's 1650, 20.45, 20.75. Rip Rap 1865, 2360, 2390. Next bid is also from Moser Crushed Stone. This is their sand bid. This is for fill sand, FOB, $9.20, delivered to the County Road Garage, 13.15. The next bid is from J.H. Rudolph Company. This is for bituminous concrete, asphalt, as we all know. This is FOB loaded at their plant in Green River Road in Evansville. Bituminous concrete hot mix is $62 a ton. High performance cold mix is $105. Applied onto the roadway, bituminous concrete surface hot mix, $67.50 per ton. Binder, $63.65 per ton. Base is $59. And for a 1 foot wide, 4-inch thick DGA shoulder is $35 per ton.
Who is this from?
The next one is from J.H. Rudolph. This is one for chip and seal.
Who did you say this was from?
J.H. Rudolph?
This one is?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
This chip and seal bid is also from J.H. Rudolph. Okay. RS number 2 is $2.80 per gallon. MS2 is $2.80 per gallon. They don't have a bid for primer L. Price per square yard of single chip and seal is $2.25, and price per square inch of double chip and seal is $3.50. This next bid is from Rogers Group. And you're going to have to wait a minute because they didn't make copies. All right, I'll give you the one on the asphalt, and then I'll go back to the rock. Okay, this is from Rogers Group. This is the bituminous concrete bid or asphalt. Loaded onto their truck at their plant. Surface is $58.25, binder is $56.75, and base is $53.50. Applied to the roadway. Surface is $64.52. Binder, $62.55. Base, $61.23. The 1 foot wide shoulder, 4 inch thick DGA is $31.80 per ton.
Bill, which one is it we use the most of, the binder or the base?
We mainly use the binder. That's our primary thing. The only time we use base is when we're constructing a new road. Thank you, Sue.
Mm-hmm.
This is the Rogers Group. This is Kentucky limestone bed. They only have two different prices. One if we pick it up at the quarry, and the other one is when they deliver it to the road department. So I'm going to read this off. DGA $9 and $17. 8 or 9 M's $11.20 and $19.20. Riprap or channel lining number 2 is $14.05 and $22.35. 23s are $9.10 and $17.10. 57s are $9.10 and $17.10. Number 4s are $9.10 and $17.10. And manufactured sand is $4 a ton and $12 a ton, respectively. I'd ask the court to let me take these under advisement, reviews the bid, come back with the computation so that we can make the decision on the awarding of the bids.
Everybody in agreement?
Yes.
We will wait your recommendations. And thanks to all the representatives of the companies who bid who are here today. We appreciate it. And you should have a report by next fiscal court meeting, correct, on what we're going to be planning to do moving forward. So at this point, I'd like to invite any members of the audience who have anything for the good of the county they'd like to come up and share. The podium is yours. Anybody? Okay. Magistrate Pubman, anything from your district or anything you'd like to share?
Thank you, Judge. First, let me just congratulate Jeremy and LaShawn and Kara. It's a shame she had to leave earlier. Looking forward to taking you guys to lunch. Hope you got a choice that we can all agree on. Hey, I'll eat anywhere, so that, just whatever you guys worked out, is fine. And it's a pretty big deal to get that proclamation. People go through their whole lives in this community and never receive anything of that magnitude. So hope you kind of appreciate it and get a good understanding of the accomplishments that you guys made. I mean, because you pick from like the entire school. Pretty big deal. You guys got to be overwhelmed. I mean, seriously. Yeah, I would be too. But looking forward to going to lunch, Judge, and all is good in the fourth.
Thank you, Mr. Magistrate Pubman. Now, Magistrate Warren.
I want to agree with what he said and what they'll say. The other day I heard, I think, the difference between a dream and a goal is the number of days or the time frame that you choose. So there's nothing wrong with dreaming something that you want. But obviously you guys have set some goals in your life or you wouldn't have already achieved what you've done so far. So hats off to you. I'm proud of you. You'll have a good time with Butch. If you had a good time with Sheriff Brady, I know you'll have a good time. And also, I want to say thanks to the road department. I had very few calls about problems other than some that we just couldn't get to. And they got resolved. But I really do want to hats off to the road department because I thought they did a really good job. And I had several people who said they thought the county road department did better than the state did. So I'm proud of the road department.
Thank you, Metro. And again, it's good to see you recuperating, get better every time I see you. I think you've rehabilitated your haircut as well.
That's right.
And I'm glad to see that too. Looks great. Looks wonderful. I like it. Just kidding. Magistrate Alexander.
Well, congratulations to you guys, and congratulations to your family too, because I know that's the backbone of, to me, as far as I'm concerned, of any good kid is a good family, and so you obviously have one each of y'all, and I'm proud for that because you're here, and you wouldn't have been here without a good family. So congratulations. One thing I would like to address is that we need to really keep an eye on these county roads. This freezing and thawing, I've been out on them and looking at them, and they're going to pieces. I don't know what the solution is at this point, except maybe I don't know if weight limits will have to come at some point or not, but we really need to take a look at them. And I want to congratulate the road department on how they cleaned. We were short-handed. That's what a lot of people don't understand. We were about 2 or 3 trucks short from what we normally are. And they still did an excellent job. And compared to the state, I won't say anything, but anybody that's been on the county road and went on a state road, that answered the question. So thank you, Bill, and everything. That's all I have.
Thank you. And again, I was just kidding, George. Just teasing. Magistrate Wilkerson.
It's good to have you two young men here today, and everything's good in District 5.
Magistrate Todd.
Same thing. Congratulations, young man, and I know it's a big honor. I know your parents are proud of you. We are, and take your proclamations back to school and show them off and be proud of that, because you're the ones out of a big school and you all was one of the chosen, so that's a big honor. And also dittos on the snow removal bill. Went through the town and county roads, and got compliments from Niagara and Roberts that county roads look pretty good. So appreciate getting out, and the guys got out and spent hours and hours and days and out there and keeping the public safe. So appreciate it.
Mr. Gold.
Well, Jeremy and LaShawn, you got stuck being here on bid day. We're sorry. We're sorry. We know it was not all that exciting. You know, if you study really, really hard and get into really advanced math, you can become an engineer and maybe be a county engineer like Mr. Kubiak and get to stand up in front of people and read really long lists of numbers. And a lot of other really important things, too. But congratulations. I know having to sit through a meeting like this may not feel like it's a big award or prize or something like that, but it really, really is. I mean, this is a big deal. You were picked out of, hundreds and hundreds of kids at your schools, and that is a definite honor and something you should be very proud of. And we are proud of you for being here today. And LaShawn, you're at North, right? All right. If you see a girl, tall 8th grader named Meredith there, tell her you met her dad and her dad said hi. Otherwise, all good, Judge.
Thank you, Mr. Golden. Jeremy and LaShawn, thank you for being here today. We are very proud of you and Kiera, and really want to reiterate what was said about your family support. It's vital, and we appreciate your parents and families. I hope you do too. And the teachers and school administrators who care so much about you and appreciate you so much they nominated you to be Judges Scholars. So you've got a lot of help and a lot of friends and a lot of support. And the great news is, with all that help, you're making it happen. You're doing great things. So congratulations to you, and we're very proud of you today. And I want you to wear out Magistrate Putman's credit card and getting lunch and dessert and all that stuff today.
Make him pay for double dessert.
Yeah, absolutely. I do want to reiterate that 3:30 today we'll have a workshop where we're going over some updates to the policy manual. That's open to the public. It'll be right in this room. Again, my compliments to the road crew. A lot of it has already been said. Some of them worked long hours, long overtime hours, days in a row, over the weekend. We very much appreciate their dedication. We visited them a couple times, and their mood stayed great, and that speaks to their leadership and also their own personal sense of their responsibility to the people of the county, and I really appreciate that. And we had a kind of a perfect storm there of getting first rain and then sleet and then a layer of ice and then 3 inches of snow That's the hardest thing to deal with. And then single-digit temperatures where the ice would melt, and drifting snow.
And the weekend.
So, at last week's Kentuckians for Better Transportation Conference, how we handled that was asked of me a lot. People were checking in on us to see how our road crews had done in that situation, because it wasn't the same across the state. We had a particularly difficult set of circumstances to handle, and compliments out to our gang, our team, and everybody that pitched in, first responders, the sheriff's department. It was a tough weekend for everybody, and hopefully we'll be able to keep the warm weather around long enough to have a little bit of a breather and catch our breath, and do things like check on the conditions of our county roads after the freeze, and some flooding now we're experiencing. So it never ends, but thank you. Please send our thanks to the guys, and we'll be out soon to visit, and gals, and we'll visit them again soon. I want to remind everybody that we are currently in the volunteer fire department opt-out period. It will extend through May 31st this year. We're going to be putting up notices about that on our website again, and we'll send a postcard to all county property owners reminding them of their rights under that provision. Just wanted to remind everybody of that. Again, we send our condolences to the family of and friends of Jody Jenkins, Judge Jenkins, as well as the people of Marshall County. And I think what we can do here to help them in Henderson County is just keep doing the very best we can do, pray for them, try to do everything we can to make sure similar circumstances don't occur here. With that, I will entertain a motion to adjourn. Motion and a second. All those in favor can leave. And Jeremy and LaShawn, it's lunchtime.